All right, welcome back to another episode of Classic Driver's Garage. Today I'm kind of excited. I'm going to be starting on my rear stabilizer bar. Let's head over to the bench and I'll show you what I got. All right, I got everything laid out in front of me. Everything looks pretty nice. Everything's painted. For some reason I have a weird obsession with yellow zinc coated hardware. I don't know what it is. I'd paint it all yellow if I could. So I have to start by assembling the end links and putting the nuts, the jam nuts up on, and then installing the bushings into each of the end links. You have to coat it with the silicone grease. I'm going to wear some gloves to do that because this stuff it's actually kind of sticky. You get that on your hands and it's not fun to get off. I'm going to probably just press the bushings in and see how it goes with a C-clamp. Alright, so I'm going to start by putting some of the bushings in. It says in the instructions to liberally coat the bushings with the silicone grease. So what I ended up doing is just putting it in the jaws of the vise and pressing it in. I just have to finish, it's not quite all the way through. So I ran into my first problem. The threads in the female portion of the link get jammed. So I wanted to run a chaser tap through, but I don't have one here in my garage, so I'll have to fix that when I bring the car over to my father's. Alright, so I got the car back up in the air. I got my parts laid out. And I just fixed the stripped or jammed end link with my father. We both didn't have a tap the right size, so I just slowly worked in and out with some penetrating oil, and it took care of it. Thank God. So I got to start with getting the U-bolts hung on both sides and getting the sway bar temporarily loosely mounted up. Alright, so here we are underneath. I'm really lucky to have my father's garage, and he has a lift in here. We're pretty well equipped. So let's get started. this is how you hold spare parts, because humans weren't made with enough spare hands. So I'm just going to run the bolts up with an impact. I'm not going to tighten it up right now though. And then we'll go in later when we're done and torque them. Now I'll just attach the end links. I don't know. Yeah, you guys should be able to see something maybe. I don't know. They tell you to put it in the center hole, so that's what I'm doing right now. It is adjustable 3 ways, and for initial setup they tell you to put the end link in the center. This piece here they give us is a spacer. That spacer will go in the frame rail. So after I drill through the frame rail to pass the bolt, this will go right in and sandwich in between. They said if you want you can weld it in to give it more strength, and I might do that. So just bring you in here. Not sure if you'll be able to see. Let's get some light again. Alright, so the end link, obviously it's going to be even higher than what we see there because the suspension will be compounded. And then this bushing, after I drill through, will go in between the frame rail and sandwich in there or weld in. Now I might weld it, but I'll have to move all my fuel lines on both sides for the supply and return. So I'll get the car put down now and the wheels taken off. Alright, so we got the car down, pulled the wheel off. Yes, I still have drum brakes. Oh, let me get you a light. Alright, that's a little bit better. So we can see the end link, which is right here. Goes up on the other side. Now, they want the sway bar parallel to the ground and the end link vertical at a 90-degree. So right now I have to get my fuel and brake lines out of the way. I won't film me doing that. So what I've done is I've just set up a tiny bottle jack, and I just kept cranking until I got this level and as vertical with the ground as I possibly could. And they want this here at a 90-degree angle, but because my car's been lowered, this link is actually a little bit too long, so I'm gonna have to be back on a slight angle. But that doesn't bother me. I don't think I'll go through the trouble of cutting the end link off and welding it back on. Alright, so I'm under the car, I got the link up in place, and I have this centering punch. So it goes to a point, and it fits the exact size of the insert. And then I give it with a tap with a hammer to transfer the mark onto the frame. Hold it down, eh? Alright, so I've marked and drilled a pilot hole. And they say in the instructions to take a piece of cardboard to scribe around to the other side to mark the other side. I decided to take a thin piece of tin and bend it around, and now I'll scribe around that. Alright, so I've marked the other side. You can see my little punch mark in the scribe. Believe it or not, this is actually original paint that's still on the frame rails. Not bad a shape for a car that's in the rust belt. No rust. Okay, so what you do, I drill a pilot hole through this side and from the other side. Then right through you drill a 15/16, I believe it was. And then just on the outer frame rail you drill with a uni bit to 11/16 for your bushing. Alright, so things might look a little different here, and that's not because I just went for a lunch break and came back. That's because it was spring, and now it's freezing cold out there. Things never really go as planned when you start on something. What happened here was I was finishing up drilling the holes and putting things back together, and it was supper time and I needed to get home, so I slapped it all together, didn't torque anything down, and drove it for the spring and summer like that. But as a recommendation from Hellwig, they say for extreme duty, I don't know if I'm extreme duty, to weld the spacer into the frame. So here's a spacer here. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Alright, so I'm going to take you through this again. It's a little noisy because I got the heat on, but I'm just going to do this with the time lapse. I'm pretty sure you guys all know how to handle an angle grinder. Remember, wear your safety glasses. I got these here with a gasket around them, and they're slightly tinted, so we'll try those out. And with the magic of editing, boom. Alright guys, I got it all done. It's welded. The bolt is in, the nice yellow zinc bolt. Let me just throw this here. when you get the kit, if you don't weld it, you have these two washers. You put one washer over the end of the spacer, and then this washer, and you tighten it down, and it basically squashes the frame rails together up against the spacer and just sandwiches it in there. I went and I welded it in. I think it'll be a lot stronger like that. And I painted everything under there. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. This is the pile of dirt that I cleaned off from inside the fender well. And right now, I would really like to go for a shower. I'm sure you can see I'm covered in dust. I had the mask on. Sure, I have a line around. Anyways, guys, this was a fun little project. I don't know why a bolt-on aftermarket part took so long. I guess life hit, and it is what it is. So we'll catch you on the next one. Check you later.